Hey everyone, Georgetown Soaps here. I am making a beer soap, and I have not made beer soap in a while. And I don't fragrance my beer soap, I just use beer as the liquid. So what I did was because I needed about 28 ounces of liquid. The beer comes in 12 ounces, so I'm kind of short 4 ounces. So I just did 2 bottles of beer for 24 ounces of my liquid, and then I added 4 ounces of aloe water. So this is going to be bubbly, a little bit moisturizing. It's going to be all good. I didn't want to just use regular water. And so what you can see happens is I set the beer out and it was sitting out for about 5 hours. So it got a little flat, but not too flat. And so as you pour the beer in, it definitely overflows. And I knew it was going to overflow. That's why I've got the bucket. I probably should have poured it a little slower. But you know, hindsight is 50-50. So it definitely bubbles up. It gets really, really hot. I'm sure it probably doesn't get any hotter than normal lye water. But this is kind of what happens when you add the lye into the beer. And I just try and stir it down and then keep adding the lye water. And it's all good. But you obviously, from this, you would not want to add all your lye at once. Now, I've heard of some people, they let it sit out and get flat for a couple days. Every time I do that, I swear it gets mold. Some people sit there and boil the alcohol out of the beer. I don't know. I just kind of like to do it this way, kind of open the beer bottle, pour it into my tall container. You can see I picked the container on purpose. And then just, a couple hours later, kind of slowly stir in the lye into the beer. So I'm sure everyone's kind of got their own opinion and own way of doing it. But for me, this is what I like to do. I feel like it's a little bit quicker than sitting there and boiling your beer or letting your beer sit out and going flat. But everyone's got a different way of doing it. This is just how I do mine. And you can see that the lye water turns a really deep color. And I'm just trying to let it kind of stir out. And kind of got all the bubbling to stop. And then I'm just going to pour what's left in the container into my container so I don't lose any of it. I don't want to lose any of the liquid. All right, so now that we got that taken care of, I let it cool, kind of get to room temperature. So now I'm mixing in my colloidal oatmeal, my kale and clay into the pitcher or in the container, and then I'm going to add the lye water. And I'm going to do this beer soap fragrance free, but I am going to add oats. So I sell a lot of soap with oats. They're kind of just gently exfoliating. So I decided to add oats to this one, and then I'm going to do a separate batch and just do it kind of plain Jane, but with the beer. So lots of different options you can do for your beer soap. The benefit for the beer soap is the extra sugars are supposed to make it extra bubbly. So I'm excited to try this one because I haven't, like I said, I haven't made it in a while. And there's the lye water. The beer does not accelerate trace. It doesn't make it go any faster. Doesn't really do anything, doesn't speed it up. And it just kind of makes the batter just a little bit more like caramel colored per se. So I'm just going to kind of stick blend it in really well. Get the rest of it in there, and then I will measure out my oats and get it into the mold. So it's a pretty simple soap to make. You just got to be really, really careful on the whole volcanoing when you're adding the lye into the beer. All right, and I'm going to cut this. I find that my soaps with the oats, I don't know, they get harder quicker, and I just don't know what the reason is. It's just weird. So this is only 12 hours later. Sometimes I let my soaps sit for 2-3 days before I cut them, but this is going to be probably a pretty uneventful cutting video just because all the bars are going to look about the same, so I'll speed it up a little bit. But anyway, this is my beer soap. I'm going to let it sit for about 6 weeks and then use it. So I'm excited for this one to cure. But anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this. Kind of a how to make beer soap, kind of how to not make beer soap. And I'm going to go ahead and speed up the cutting. Hope you like this. Have a great day. Thanks so much for subscribing.